Hi, this is Mobile Experience. Today I'm going to be covering the merits between Upnote and Joplin. Okay, first off are their similarities. Let's start with importing, since you have to bring your notes with you, of course, whichever app you choose. In Joplin, you would hit File, Import. And here you have several different choices. Joplin has its own file, the Joplin export file. You have the choice of importing Markdown, different settings here. Most of these will not apply to the average everyday person. You can import an Evernote export file, their proprietary file, and it does a really good job. I would also say that you can import Evernote or the HTML file from Evernote as well. In Upnote, you go over here to the settings gear, you click on the general tab, and from here you can import from Evernote, Simple Note, the Markdown language like Joplin offers. You can import from HTML, and you can import from basic text. I will say that both apps imported very well, pretty seamlessly as far as Evernote goes. I didn't try Simple Note, and I didn't import any Markdown. One caveat is you have to import one notebook at a time, so ahead of time you would export each Evernote notebook one at a time. And that is exactly the same way you import the notebooks into both Joplin and Upnote. It's time consuming, but it's the best way to maintain your file structure. Okay, let's go over the most simple function that you need a Notes app for. In Joplin, there is a bright blue button that says New Note. You click on that to start a new note, and it opens right up in it. In Upnote, you do similar. There's a big blue button, just like in Joplin with New Note. And it also opens right up inside the app. I'm gonna move this to the trash. Okay, let's go over adding notes to a notebook. In Joplin, as far as I can tell, you have to create your notebook first if you want to add your note to a new notebook. You simply right-click, click Move to Notebook, and then you have a selection of your notebooks. In Upnote, it's a lot easier. You're in the body of the notes. You go to the bottom of the screen. You click Add to New Notebooks. You can actually create a notebook from here, or you can just simply add it to one of your choices. Something that's different between the two apps is that Upnote offers notebook covers of quite a variety. These are just a few of the ones that are already created, but it offers a bountiful supply of those. Joplin does not offer that. It's strictly text-based. Next, I'd like to cover tags. They both offer tags. In Joplin, when you are in a note, you click the little link at the bottom of the screen, and that's how you add tags, and they will be populated on the left-hand side of the screen under the notebooks. In Upnote, it also has tags, but the way you go about creating them and inserting them is different. You simply create a new note, give it a catchy name, you hit the Enter key, you type in the hash symbol, and we'll call this TV. You hit the Enter key or select the Create button. And now every time the TV is mentioned in a search for your notes, it will come up. Joplin works the same way. It's just a different way to enter the data for tags. Go over the text editors. Joplin offers a Markdown text editor here, but it is an option for those that like it. To the right of there is the regular text editor or rich text editor. You'll see the functions. It has bold, italic, highlight, etc., etc. And let me show you the difference between that and and Upnote. Upnote offers a rich text editor, and you'll notice at the bottom of the screen there are a lot more options than there are with Joplin. I'd like to go over tables. This is where it gets a little confusing. With tables are not actually supported easily in the markdown text editor that Joplin has. You have to use the regular rich text editor to insert tables. And in Joplin, inside the rich text editor, you click on the little the table button. You scroll over and you choose the number of tables you want. I put in 4. Now let me show you something. If I change from the markdown editor, if I change from the rich text editor to the markdown, they're gone. And when I go back to the rich text editor, they're still gone. So this is a workaround I was told online to do. You put in your tables. You can do that. Oops, misspelled. You can put data inside each table. And then when you switch from the markdown or to the markdown, you'll see this code here. But when you switch back to the rich text editor, your tables are still there. They're vastly smaller than they were. They've shrunk, basically, but they don't disappear. That's a workaround you can do in Joplin to get your tables and have them available for you. In Upnote, it's simply a matter of being in a note, clicking the plus sign, and inserting a table. That's it. It's not enabled by default on here. I was able to work in a table, as you'll see, but I'm not going to tell you my secret for how I did that because this is my demo account. Okay, next up on the agenda is tasks and to-dos. In Joplin, they do not offer a native task or to-do function. It was suggested online to create a notebook called task or to-dos and put individual notes inside of there, but it's not ideal. Upnote offers a proper to-do function, like most other note-taking apps. Both apps offer note history or revision history, as it is sometimes called. In Joplin, you simply click here on the right-hand side of the screen, and the history for that particular note will come up and you can restore it to a previous state. Upnote offers the same function. All you have to do when you're inside a note is to click the ellipsis, click version history, and if that note has ever changed, it will be there and you can restore it to a prior state. Okay, next I'd like to talk about sync. In the Joplin app, it automatically syncs. If you want to force it to sync, you click File, scroll down to Synchronize. Now your options to sync Joplin are OneDrive, Dropbox, and as well as the Joplin Sync service herself through the company, or nonprofit, I should say. With Upnote, you have the option to sync with the Upnote server. Actually, it's with Google Firebase is where your files are kept. Next up, I'd like to talk about backup. The option for backup is to hit File and Export All. From there, you have the opportunity to export from a Joplin export file, Markdown, HTML, and PDF files. In Upnote, you have a true backup, not only an export function where you can export all your notes. You have a true backup, and the backup, I believe, is kept on your computer in a folder. You can also restore your database from a previous date that you backed up. It's a lot more more of a true backup as opposed to Joplin where you just export everything. With Upnote, you can back up immediately, or you can set backups for daily or hourly or however you would like. It's a much more safer way to keep your data protected. Overall, I would say that Upnote is more intuitive. It's definitely better at managing tables and is more aesthetically pleasing than most other note apps. Joplin is pretty plain, and it is much more similar, I should say, to Evernote. I would like to thank you for watching my comparison video between Joplin Notes and Upnote. If you would like to see more comparison videos of Upnote versus other notes, or just general Upnote tutorials, please like and subscribe. Thank you, and you have a great day.